last year and a half, industrialists have experienced certain sort of less sale, therefore less production, and therefore reduction in workforce. Everything is happening in last 1 year, and I am afraid that possibly in next immediate 1 year or year and a half, we may come across more incidences of closure of some small factories, medium factories. You talk to any investor, anybody who has come in Maharashtra, people by and large say that their business has gone down by 20-30%. So the growth which we are expecting in the economy is not happening. And if Maharashtra is not growing with effective 7.5%, 8%, I think it is going to affect overall Indian growth picture also.
So I think the budget, when it was announced, the Maharashtra budget by the previous government, they had talked about 12% growth in nominal terms, inflation included. Can you give us a sense of what would it look like right now after having made some assessment?
We have not gone through all the numbers, but the budget making has begun now. So definitely we are not touching what we claimed last year. It could be in the range of 8% or I am not sure.
Okay.
But probably by end of January, we will come to know what is the second quarter result is, a third quarter result is. So I am sure it is not as per the expectation. It's going down. It has gone down to a considerable level.
Okay. Obviously, that would be impacting your revenue collections as well.
Yeah.
Again, can you give us some flavor on the kind of hit that states are taking, sir?
Now, as far as stamp and registration is concerned, or excise duties are concerned, it is as per the expectation.
Okay.
But GST collection is not as per the expectation. But now it is picking up. In the month of, I was told in the month of November, it has come up again. So probably we are hoping that December, January we do well. But still we have asked for compensation from central government. The compensation is to the tune of about 8,600 crore so far for the last 4 months, out of which 2 months compensation is transferred to the state. So almost 4,400 crores have come to the state. This compensation is legitimately due from the central government for GST. So we have not achieved 14%. So that is the compensation for not achieving that 14% growth.
Okay. And just like other states, you're also facing the same problems and delays in timelines.
In fact, last GST meeting in Delhi on 18th, all the states were insisting that the subject of compensation should be considered first, taken first. So every state has got a hit, and all the states are looking up to union government for helping them. Now the commitment initially from the union government was, yes, they will compensate. But now the union government is saying there is a cess which is levied on many products, items, and whatever money is collected in that cess kitty will be used for compensation, which is less than what all the states are expecting.
Okay. So that puts them in a tough spot. Sir, more broadly, do you think in this post-GST era for states, it's become very difficult in times of a slowdown because the items you have control over are very limited? For instance, Maharashtra's take, petroleum is already at the highest level of taxation compared to. So you don't have much flexibility and you're more and more dependent on the center in some ways.
Yes, actually, petrol and diesel, these are the only two products which states can change very value-added tax on that because they are not included in GST so far. So there is hardly any flexibility for the states. Even as far as if they want to, any state wants to do something extra for effective compliance, collecting taxes effectively, they have hardly any room except whatever GST Act is. If they implement it very effectively, probably the situation may improve eventually.
Sir, in a tight situation like this, and Maharashtra is luckier because your fiscal deficit is lower than the 3% number. I think 2% was the targeted number. Do you have enough room to spend? There's a lot of people saying that governments have to spend in a situation like this. Does Maharashtra have the room, sir?
Actually, what has happened is the numbers which we have got in our hand after taking over by the new government, it hardly has any room because our fiscal deficit is almost touching 3%.
Really?
Yeah. With the supplementary demands which we have placed before the House this time, we will be revenue deficit on a large scale.
More than 1%, sir? Revenue deficit?
Almost, and not 1%, but less, but not fiscal deficit is we are touching 3%. The revenue deficit is sizable, but we can overcome. We are doing many things so that the revenue deficit may come under control.